Hey y'all, I haven't recorded a video like this in a while, and it feels kind of weird, honestly. I sort of went on that like break around June, and then when I came back I was like, I only want to record when I want to record, and now I really want to record, and honestly I feel like super rusty and weird about it, but you know, that's just happening. I want to talk about like a fear of success. I've been talking about it over on TikTok. I've been talking about it on Twitter a little bit. I've been talking about it with my friends and like my professional groups and stuff. I used to think that was a total bullshit thing. Like when people would tell me that they were afraid of success, I would just be like, oh, fucking please. What the fuck is that? And I think for me, it's not like just a fear. It's more like a discomfort or an unfamiliarity. I've been really successful in my career always as someone else's, always making someone else's success, always, you know, doing good for something else, some cause that I could hide behind, or some person that I could sort of like, you know, push in front of me, basically. As myself, I feel deeply uncomfortable with success. New Coyote is actually doing amazing right now. We're in August is our highest earning month, not ever. There's two other months previously last year that earned more money as months, but this is our highest earning month of the year. It was our highest earning month of the year on August 1st. So I should be over the moon, and I am. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased. And also, I am starting to feel nervous. That nervous feeling. And I've been trying to fucking get a handle on it. This is what I want. This is what I'm working for. I'm working so fucking hard for this. Why is this feeling like happening? And I think that for me, it is tied very hard to my upbringing and to the narrative I have about myself. And my upbringing was very difficult. It was very harsh. There was a lot of different kinds of poverty going on. Financial poverty, poverty of emotional well-being and health, poverty of security, all of those things. And there was a sense for me from a very young age that I had to keep it together because nobody else was going to. I had to help myself because nobody else was going to. I was on my own at the age of 14. My family was really going through it, as they always were. And it was just determined that I would probably be fine on my own. I didn't do anything to be on my own at 14. It definitely wasn't my choice or my preference, and yet that's what happened. And so for a really long time, that was a long, long time ago, for a really long time I have really carried this with me, that I have to rely on myself, that I can't rely on others, that I have to be able to save the day. I have to be able to bootstrap with very little, you know. When I was on my own at 14, I did have a company. I was cleaning houses and doing gardening, and that did support me. But you know, I started that company with just myself, my body. I just walked up to people's doors and knocked on them and asked them if they needed odd jobs done around the house. And that turned into a company that got me through college, or that got me through high school and into college. And so there's this feeling that if things are hard, I have to have what's in my grasp to solve that difficulty. For example, there was a period during our first quarter. Most of you know that the New Coyote's first quarter was abysmal, horrible, really bad. There was a point in our first quarter when I was about $1,000 short on payroll. If I didn't come up with the money, you know, by Monday to put into the bank, payroll was going to bounce, and I was That's my worst nightmare. That's worse than even closing the company to me. That's the worst thing I could possibly do, is short somebody their check. Because I know how much that matters. I know how important it is. And so I went around my house and I found a bunch of stuff and I sold it on Facebook Marketplace over the weekend. And then I picked up a couple of gigs that I knew I could get paid for right away. And then by Monday, the money was in the bank. So over the course of like 3 days, I picked up $1,000. And I know that I can do that because I know that's a thing, that's a skill that I've developed over the years. It's not something I could do right now. If I was short on payroll in another time this year, I would actually not be able to do that same thing because a bunch of this stuff. I've got to go soon. My alarm just went off for something else. But I'm trying to say that I couldn't do that again. I couldn't make that other $1,000 again because the stuff that I had in my house, I was saving for such a time as I would need to make $1,000 off the top of my head. If I were called to do that again right now, I would have a different tactic. And there's a bunch of skills that I've learned to do that over the years, to make it up, make the short, whatever. And I feel particularly afraid of making more money because I worry that my skill set does not apply to that higher income. I know I can make $1,000 in a weekend if I need to. I don't know how to make $10,000 in a weekend if I need to. And if I start making the kind of money that we need to make, $10,000 is going to be pocket change. And that's the level I need to be at to do what I want to do in this world, to have the kind of power to affect the change that I want. And also, it feels quite terrifying to put myself in that position. And also, I understand that my narrative is not perfect. My narrative of myself as a person who's on their own and has to struggle on their own it's not accurate. And also, there are legitimate, this is the thing with trauma, right? There are legitimately very significant, many of them actually fairly recent, times in my life when I was having a huge trouble. I was having a huge struggle. And I reached out to other people to ask for support, and I didn't get it. And so it's very hard for me not to see this success as me drifting farther and farther away from a ground that has supported me, from a baseline that has been there for me, when others have not. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel what I'm feeling? Do you see what I'm seeing? And I know that a lot of this narrative is it's not my idea, right? This is a concept that has been constructed in a capitalist society for someone like me, someone from poverty, someone who's disabled, someone who's queer, someone who reads as female, someone who's Mexican. This is a construct that has been created for a person like me so that I'm afraid to grasp the power that I need to be transformative force. But knowing that doesn't change the fear I feel. So, those are just some thoughts I'm having as we're doing better and better. And I don't really know the solution. I do feel called to challenge myself on this, and I also feel like I don't necessarily know how, other than to lean into this success, continue to do the best I can, and just try to be brave and make good choices, and hope that that is enough to get me through, to work it out. So let me know if you feel this, if you relate to this. Let me know if you've overcome this. Please fucking tell me. See you next time I make a video.